Okay. Okay, we're back. This is part 2.
So as I was saying, most guys aren't brought up in a household that supports reading, whereas most girls are. Shut
Example.
up. So...
Do you feel that you weren't brought up to read?
I feel that our family was brought up to read. I mean, my mom is an English teacher, and she reads lots of books. And my dad, I mean, I can't find any weekend where I don't see him laying on the couch reading, Guns and Steel or some crazy book like that.
He's talking about Guns, Germs, and Steel.
Guns, Germs, and Steel.
Mike wasn't
my
big
bad.
in reading.
Shut up.
He missed the read.
Stop it.
Okay. So you think that... Focus. You do enjoy reading, though?
I enjoy reading a good book.
What would you define as a good book?
Something that keeps my interest and doesn't really have that many dull spots in it.
Like what? What's one of your favorite books?
Harry Potter.
Harry Potter. What keeps you going through that book?
The mystery of it all.
Is that one of the books you can't put down?
Yeah.
So can you read that for like hours on end?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember when, I think it was the 6th book that came out, whenever any of the new books came out, I would always have to reread the series just because I would have no idea what was going on if I didn't. And whenever I would reread the series, I would just spend days just straight reading Harry Potter books. Like, I would finish each one maybe in a little over a day.
Do you see any relationship between, because you said you can do that with video games too, between like the factors that motivate you to continue in the video games compared to that in books like Harry Potter?
Yeah.
What kind of a relationship do you see in that?
I think both just have that the little quality about them where, if you were to stop, you would just have that feeling in your stomach like, shoot, what's going to happen next? That little cliffhanger in your mind. But, so I think books do that. I think they do it a bit more, I think they do it better than video games because, video games you can always, save, quit, and it doesn't really affect anything. It's always right there, but I guess it's the same for books, but it's more of an interest, You can, just going back and reading the book just to see what's going to happen next, it has a bigger impact on you, I think.
So, like, getting to the next chapter in a book isn't necessarily the same as, like, getting to the next level. Like, when you get to the next chapter, you still want to keep going.
Right.
But is that not the same in video games?
In video games, for me, whenever you get to the next level, it's just like, alright, I could stop here if I wanted to, and I would be able to. Like, I wouldn't have an urge to keep going, because I just got here. But in a book, once you get to the next chapter, it's like, alright, let's read the next one, let's keep going. So, I would think that in video games, the drive to keep going isn't as pertinent, if that's the correct term, as books.
Do you think that there could ever be a way that teachers could incorporate video games into the classroom? Because you say that generally video games are marketed more towards boys.
Yes.
And then with reading, generally girls are the greater, or do more of the reading.
Generally. So,
would video games be a plausible means of drawing boys into literature more?
I think it's possible, but I don't see it happening anytime soon. I mean, I can't really think of any video game that a boy would want to play, where you're learning about, I don't know, like biology or something like that. I can't really see that being...
So no academic video games.
Right.
But what about kind of the strategies, like the idea of getting to the next level in a video game, or introducing some kind of like motivational factor in reading? Is that something that you might be interested in? Making like a reward system for reading, for instance.
I
like
think
there
that
is
would-
with video games. Like when you get to a certain point, you're rewarded with coins or something like that, or
Right.
points.
Yeah. I think that would definitely work on some people. Like in, I don't know, say in middle school or something, a teacher has a book assigned to the whole class, and they have, little dates where you have to have this much read by this date, this much read by this date. I think it could definitely work if the teacher were to say, all right, you have to read this amount of chapters for this date, but if you read that same amount of chapters for a week or so before, I'll give you a bonus or something, just to get the kids to read more. And so I think that same system could work